The Sketcho Show Podcast.
Sketcho Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, up until now you've seen the creature perform the simple mechanics of motor activity. But for what you are about to see next, we must enter quietly into the realm of genius. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Damen und Herren, from what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it!
The Sketchomatic Show.
Sketchomatic.
The Sketcho Show Podcast. I mean, I'm on a roll this month with episodes back to back to back.
Sketchy.
I just released the 3 episodes, getting to episode 50, and thanks again to President Kevin Legrette of iHeartMedia Sports for coming on and making that happen. Today's episode involves a guest that is not in radio, that is not in the media industry at all. She's a single mother, which is the hardest job in itself. Let's just be honest right now. But she's an entrepreneur and started her own business, Baby Sunnies, which are like these adorable glasses you can get custom made for your daughter or your son, your toddler. And they're very inexpensive and handmade by my special guest.
Wow.
This podcast in particular is to honor that and in support of that, of her endeavor. Not just because of that, but she has a really silky smooth voice I can't wait to have on this podcast. Without further ado, Breana Aguilera. What's up, Breana?
Hi, thank you for that.
There she is. So what's going on, Breana? How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for bringing me on.
Get real close to that mic for me.
Yeah.
Don't step away. Hold on.
Okay, is that better?
Oh, I see what's up. It keeps limping.
And limping, I know. Doesn't like me. Do you want me to hold it? Wait. No, really.
Right, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, get closer to it, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Breana Aguilera, I see that you brought in some of your custom-made Baby Sunnies that you did for Letty B.
I did. I know that you're really good friends with her, so I wanted to make her a pair. And they each come with their own case, so I brought her 2.
These are awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I wear them?
You can.
I want to ask, can I?
Should I make you a pair?
Yeah, I want it to say Sketchy Swifty.
Okay. I can do that. I can totally do that.
I-E, and then Swifty with an I-E.
Perfect. What color? You tell me.
I'll let you surprise me.
Okay.
Bring your own creativity into it. Breana Aguilera, it's such a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Finally, I'm
honored.
Can I reiterate how you and I originally met?
Yeah, absolutely.
So our dear mutual friend Vic One was throwing a housewarming party last August.
Correct. And
I was there. You were there. Towards the end, I remember going up to Vic and going, "Excuse me, Vic. Vic One. This is urgent. I need you to correspond who this young lady is standing behind you at 12 o'clock. And he was like, well, which one? And he's DJing. He's trying to do his thing. He's trying to host the party. And I'm over here going, and this is toward the end of the party. But I had seen.
I was a little litty towards the end already. We were there since like 3 p.m.
That's right.
Yes.
Me too. I'd gotten there around the same time you did. And anywho, so Vic One is like, oh, who are you talking about, Sketch? I said, oh, I don't know her name, but that little lady over there with the nice feet. I told him that. I said, with the really pretty feet. You know what I'm talking about? And he was like, oh, that's Breana. And I was like, really? What's her story? And he was like, I'll introduce you.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Vic and Illy. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And Illy, of course. I can't believe I passed up Illy. I was so on the Vic One story. Illy and their kids, they have such a wonderful, beautiful
love them
Burbank home. And they threw us a pretty nice, it was almost like a party for us.
It was an adult party. It was so much fun. Different DJs. We drank all day, partied all night. Met so many cool people. I mean, I made so many friends that day there. Yeah. And it was the first time I had actually gone out since I had my daughter.
That's right.
So
Ava.
Mom let her hair down and got a little cray cray.
And shout out to Ava. Your daughter is now how old?
She's 16 months.
Almost. Is that so? She's a year. I don't understand when it gets past 12 months, it confuses the shit out of me. My baby. Oh yeah, my toddler is 375 months old now. Like what? What is
I'm
that?
1,072 months.
Yeah. Me, myself, I'm 8,475 months old. Myself.
I'm dying. I hate that, and now I'm one of those parents.
Okay, so technically she's over a year, right? She is a year old, because I remember her birthday just passed, and you said she was a year, right?
Yeah. So she's a year and 5 months.
Okay.
Right?
I think. I don't know.
4.
How many days is that? How many days is she?
You guys, she's over a year. That's all that matters.
Right.
She'll be turning 2 in November.
And that was the first time you went out since having Ava.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it was so much fun. I'm so happy. They did such a great job with that party. It was a housewarming party. It's almost going to be a year. We were just talking about that. We've been talking about me coming on the pod for so long. So I'm so happy that we're able to make it happen finally. But yeah, that was my first time. I really don't go out. I'm a loner.
Well, you're a mom.
Yes.
And let's just state it right now. Let's address the 800-ton elephant in the room, the really sexy elephant in the room, okay?
Okay.
You're obviously a MILF, as you even referred to yourself. You said this yourself, okay?
MILF mommy.
MILF self. Yeah, MILF mommy, inventor of Baby Sunnies, and may I add that you have a voice to match the look.
Oh, thank you.
Your voice is it's kind of Kardashian-esque in a way.
Yeah.
When you talk, you're like, Christian, I know. And then I'm like, whoa. Hey now.
That's so funny. Yeah.
This is Kim Kardashian.
I love their show. So
Yeah.
maybe.
You're watching the new one on Hulu?
No, I honestly have not been able to watch something for quite a while because I can't really focus.
Other than cartoons and kids stuff.
Right. I'm like all Miss Rachel, Miss Lisa, Miss Elizabeth. Everything is the Wiggles. So right now I'm actually not watching anything at the moment.
Really?
I haven't started anything. This year I have not started anything.
We were talking about Yellowstone. I just finished Yellowstone last night or this morning, fifth season.
Yeah.
And it ends on a cliffhanger. It's like a Sopranos ending. And I'm like, yo, dude, what's happened in season 6? And so I'm like, well, let's go to 1883. So that's my suggestions to you. Yellowstone and 1883.
Yeah, I've heard that from several people.
Yeah. It's a good Western type. What I like about 1883 is it's in the Old West, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Western, but it's fucking brutal.
I did watch a couple episodes. The daughter.
The daughter, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good with the names right now, but she's she's just a bad bitch. Like she drinks.
Oh, you're talking about Beth. You're talking about Beth.
The redhead, right?
She's British in real life.
Is she?
I think she's British. She has
her dad. On the show, what's his name?
Kevin Costner. His name's John Dutton on the show.
He's so hot. Yeah.
Right. Even at that age.
Oh my God. So, even better at that age.
So you prefer older men?
The older, the better.
Really? Because I'm 46 years old. So, I mean, are you...
Am I interested?
Are you interested in a 46-year-old man over here?
I mean, never say never. We don't know.
So there is a possibility.
There is.
A 1% chance.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
I mean, never say never.
I just got to point out, I wish that this episode was video, because this is an audio-only podcast for obvious reasons. I mean, look at this.
You don't do any video?
No, not well. We do video for the social media promotions, and then the podcast cover is
only for real celebrities.
No, I don't do any video at all, honestly. But this is This is one of the few times I wish I had video podcasts so that I can show the world how gorgeous you are.
Thank you.
Especially when you flip your hair over to the side like that. You know,
I'll do it again.
Flip it like where it's like, yeah. Real hardcore flip. It's the sexy flip. Yes,
it's real hair.
It's real hair, and
real.
it is. It's mesmerizing.
Thank you.
You're like a little ball of sunshine.
You know, when I'm having a bad day, I'm just going to call you, or when I need my ego stroked, because you're just making me feel really good.
Your cuppeth overfloweth with compliments from the old Omatic over here. Okay. I mean, it is really, you know, I'm smitten. And the fact that you aren't in radio is also a bit of a turn on, because this is the first time you've ever been in a radio station.
It is. Right? I was nervous. I'm like, why are you going to bring me on? What do we talk about? What do you want me to? So what
we're going to talk about is a few different things. Well, the podcast itself is just an open forum podcast. Now, typically I have radio people on. I have, people talking about comedy. Comedian Sandy Steck has been on. She's also an on-air host here at Coast 103.5. But the reason I chose to bring you on, other than, liking you, but really because I wanted you to broaden your mind, for you to get out of the house.
Thank you.
I know that you've been in a vulnerable position for some time in your personal life and dealing with being a mom.
Yeah.
Just relationship stuff. You know what I mean? It's the struggle is real. So I felt like, let's bring Breana on. I say let's, like there's more than one person in the show. It's just me. But I want to bring Breana on. And I love your name and I love your voice. And I want to just talk to you about, not just about Baby Sunnies, but the stuff that we were talking about off pod air per se.
Right.
Just about relationships and life. And you are a very young lady. You had your daughter at like 27 years old, 26
I wasn't like 16 and pregnant.
No,
but I was.
You're a young mom.
Yeah. How old was I?
Well, you're 20. Well, you won't put out your age. But I'm just saying.
No, I'm okay with that.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So
I'm 28 years old.
Yeah. Ooh, hot age, by the way. Go ahead.
28. Mm-hmm. I had her. I mean, if she's 16 months, I had her 16 months ago.
Yeah.
How old does that make me?
I think you were like 25.
I think I was like 21.
21.
Yeah. But it's honestly, motherhood has been the best thing ever. I've always known I wanted to be a mom. I knew my mom is actually a teen mom. So she got pregnant when she was 15. And I just knew I didn't want to be, in my teens and pregnant. So I did wait. After 21, I'm like, okay, I'm not in my teens anymore. Like, this is my time. So. And
it was planned.
It was
Ava
planned.
was planned.
She was so planned.
Right.
No.
And Ava, your daughter, is by far one of the prettiest toddlers I've seen. She obviously takes after you.
Obviously.
She's going to be a problem when she's 18 years old.
She already is, and she's a Scorpio. So
oh my God.
I don't know if you believe in astrology. I'm an astrology whore. I wake up and I check my horoscope. Mm-hmm. If it's bad, I just don't leave the house. Mm-hmm. So she's a Scorpio, born on 11/11/22. And by the way, I had that planned also.
Really?
I did.
11/11?
11/11/22.
Snake eyes. No, is that snake eyes?
I don't know what it is.
11/11, or is that just 1 and 1? I think that's just 1 and 1 is snake eyes. But anyway, 11/11. That's very good. I
wasn't due until like the 18th.
Wow. And
November.
She came a little early, huh?
Well, I said I love this number. It's an angel number. Doctor, do this.
You induced the labor?
Yeah.
Really? Is that dangerous?
I mean, I'm perfectly fine.
Yes, you are. Oh, you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nothing happened. I always tell my friends that I would rather have another baby because my root canal hurt more.
Oh yeah, I remember when I met you. You said this to me.
I think it was the first day, right?
Yeah, the first day I met you when I was complimenting how pretty your feet are. Okay, along with the rest
Check out my
of
OnlyFans.
No,
I'm kidding.
One yet.
I know.
Yeah, that's something we're going to get into. Why you should start an OnlyFans. And even Natalia Perez, who's somebody I know you look up to.
I love her podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
all my moms out there. Yeah, please listen to it.
Yeah, that's a good mom.
Such a good one.
Mom podcast. Natalia's such a lovely young mother herself.
Yeah,
and
so beautiful.
She's had conversations on Big Boy Show with Big and the rest of the crew about doing an OnlyFans for feet.
I mean, you know what? If I'm going to work from home and I'm going to make money and I get to see my daughter play around in the sand
and grow up,
that's not a bad idea. And I don't show my face.
You could be anonymous, completely anonymous. Like you never have to, no real name, no real.
How do I do that? You're going to have, once we finish, we have to look into it.
We're going to YouTube it. We're going to how to YouTube it for sure. Cause I feel like you have like model feet.
Thank you.
They look like you could be a foot model. Okay. You have really nice teeth. I'm telling you, I wish this was a video episode with just the camera on her, but I'm taking multiple pictures for the slides on Instagram. So you'll get a good look at Breana
and my
Aguilera.
feet. My feet are going to be on there,
Are we going to take some pictures of your feet?
I mean,
are you serious? I will. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's do it. I just got a pedicure.
Are they like white toenails or French tips? Red. Ooh, that's real
summer,
sexy.
Spring. I'm going to do Baby Sunnies in between the toes.
Are you serious? You're going to put the little Baby Sunny like the lettering on your
charms.
toes? Okay. Where do we
got off topic.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump all over the place. This is a stream of consciousness conversation we're having, and it's just that. I mean, obviously, there's so many things to talk about, and we talked so much off before we started recording the pod. Along with the OnlyFans,
idea.
we talked about that, but then more so is your voice. Like I feel I'm a huge proponent of voiceovers, and when like soft-spoken voices or really deep, this is 102.7. That kind of stuff is great too. But I like female voices, and I like to utilize female voices in my radio imaging, right? So if you were to go 102.7 Kiss FM.
102.7 Kiss FM.
Yeah. See, your voice is very natural and organic sounding. It's not like you're trying to sound like an announcer.
Is this going to be on the podcast?
Yeah, I'm going to cut it all in.
Okay.
But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Once I'm done producing the podcast with you on it, you'll see what I'm talking about.
You'll send it to me.
Of course. And it's going to be on, like I said, iHeartRadio app. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, and I believe Stitcher. There's a lot of platforms out there.
Perfect.
Another thing I really like on women.
Oh,
Get it? See how the two connect?
Yes,
Thank you. I'll be here until they fire me. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your servers.
You have so many good dad jokes.
Thank you. And I'm not a dad.
Yeah. Remember the joke you just said about having good jeans?
And joggers too, because I'm wearing joggers, and I pointed to my joggers, and it really went over well with Breana as my audience.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention that you were possibly looking into having a second child. I'm just letting you know I'm a willing and able Mexican over here.
I definitely do want
a son,
a sibling for my daughter. You know, I wasn't a big fan of like having a girl first, just because of, you know, I think I'm traditional in that way of I want a boy to protect, you know, of course, the little girl. But after having Ava, I'm like, oh my God, another girl. Yeah, she's like a bad bitch already. I'm like, what? How is she? Her personality is way too big for her little body. I mean, and
she looks like a little baby model. Like you look like you can get her into commercials or like modeling.
But I'm so selfish with her. I'm like, no, I can't. You're all for me right now.
Right. At least at this time in this stage in her life, she's like a little Cabbage Patch doll. You know who else has? Let's just put this out there right now. You make pretty babies. I know a few women that work here who make really pretty babies as well.
Really?
Right?
Like who?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't want to say their names just because I don't want to put their business out there. But there's several.
Okay.
I can count really just on one hand. There's a lot of people that work here, but on the pretty baby making machines, there's only a handful. And that's just my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's fact. But one other person that we talked about at the beginning, Vic One.
Yes.
Illy,
oh my God.
Their genes combined has been proven by science to make the most adorable daughter you have ever seen in your life.
Have you met her?
What is it? Vivi? What's her real name?
Vienna. Yes. I made some sons
Vivi,
for
right?
her, actually. Yeah, Vivi Bear. Yeah,
yes.
She's so beautiful.
She looks like a Cabbage Patch doll.
I follow Illy, obviously, on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl, she's so funny. I think she's a Scorpio also, actually. Yeah. So she's so beautiful. She does look like a Cabbage Patch.
It's weird how like doll-like.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about weird, creepy porcelain doll. I'm talking about they're so adorable. Their faces are so adorable. Now I understand when older folks go, I just want to eat that face. Yeah. Right? I just want to eat those cheeks. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's
you really do.
I want to dip them in ranch dressing and eat those cheeks.
Yeah. Like hummus. Let me put hummus on your
hummus. Yeah. Well, you make pretty babies.
Thank you. Wait, so let's talk about you.
Go ahead.
Do you want kids?
I mean, well, I've stated on this pod before. Okay, how do I say this again?
Because men have all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
For what?
To have kids. Your clock doesn't tick out.
Oh, we have infinite busts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's a comedian named Brian Simpson who's been on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast several times, and he just had a special come out on Netflix called Live from the Mothership, and at Joe Rogan's comedy club in Austin, Texas, called the Comedy Mothership. Mm-hmm. And Brian Simpson talked about that, how women have a finite amount of eggs they're born with.
Yeah.
So you have a ticking clock, biological clock. That's where it comes from, on when you can have children and when it's too late, right? Or the eggs are gone.
Yeah.
Men, and he goes, Brian Simpson, the comedian, says, dudes, could you imagine if men could only have a certain number of set nuts to bust? Could you imagine how the world would be so different if we were born with only 100 busts in our lifetime?
Would you use them wisely?
No, they'd be gone by the time I was 13. Like, they'd be like, oh man, how many, which
You're
one?
Like, I have none left over.
Listen, I only got 5 left, Breana. We got to make this happen. We got to make it important. Don't leave me on red. Don't leave me on scene. I want to get this going. Now I understand. I can understand how women want to have kids and get it done as soon as possible. Me, as far as to answer your question, do I want kids? Okay, part one of that question. It's a twofold question answer, I should say. I've gotten several women pregnant throughout my years.
Really?
In my 20s and 30s, right? And all of them had abortions, not by my forcing them to.
Okay.
It was by their own decision.
Yeah.
If they had not had those abortions, I would have like 6 different kids from 6 different baby mamas today.
Wow.
I'd have like a small army of kids.
How old would your oldest be?
Probably.
That's a lot of women to get pregnant.
I know, but they were all relationships. They weren't like just one night stands.
Yeah, but that means that, kids are forever. So,
I know.
You know, you're okay with like having.
No. If
I mean, is this the Nick Cannon show?
I know, right? He's got the real
Nick
numbers.
Cannon,
He's like the Stephen Curry of babies. Yeah, for sure. He's putting up triple digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I would, so I was 18 years old when I got my first girlfriend pregnant. It was my real first love, right? She got pregnant. She was 19. I was 18. She got an abortion. If I would have had that baby with her, I probably would have that would have been it. Like maybe we wouldn't have been together because we broke up after, right? And I think the abortion probably was what led us to breaking up at that young age. You're very naive. You're very immature. Or immature. I don't like when people say immature. It's fucking stupid. It's immature. Yeah. But yeah, so we broke up and it wasn't a very healthy breakup. It wasn't a healthy relationship really, but we loved each other. And I imagine in my parallel universe thinking that if I would have had that kid or she would have had the kid and we raised the kid together, even if we were apart, I probably would have just been focused on being a good dad to that kid. I wouldn't have hooked up with other women. But because she had the abortion, it's like a free ticket. It's a haul.
So did she ask you, hey, is it okay if I do this? What's your opinion? She just did it?
No, we went together, but she was like, I can't have this baby.
Yeah.
It was like, she was like, we can't
18
afford this.
is young.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no perfect age in my opinion. People always say, you're so young, you're so young. I'm like, you guys make it seem like I'm, 16 and pregnant. This was totally planned. This was totally wanted. I was,
and you were able to afford it.
26.
Right.
Yeah. Her dad is amazing at that for sure. Yeah.
Well, final answer is yes, I do want kids, but at the same time, I'm so content with being alone now at 46 or however many months that is.
I feel nowadays, why are some men that I came across are okay with choosing to be alone and, just not really wanting or eager to come home to a family or to a fiance or to a wife or 2 kids.
Right.
Is that the new norm?
I feel like it is for some people, but believe me, there is a huge percentage of me as a man that does think of it often. That's why I'm always working, Breana, because if I have too much time to reflect, I start to think about, I'm 46 years old and I don't have a wife or kids. And it's kind of sad and from a certain perspective, because it's like, I know people my age that have kids and their kids are growing up and they're teenagers now, right? And I know that those kids are going to be there for their parents when they're old. Yeah. And who's going to take care of me? Probably a fucking robot at that point. You know what I mean? Or something, or
that's not funny, but
or a droid dog. It's probably, it's not funny, but it's funny because it's true. We're headed that way. I'm going to have AI taking care of me.
A nurse robot.
Yeah. Like in the Jetsons.
A hot nurse robot.
Yes.
With pretty feet.
I'm going to make her look like you. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming in this lifetime. Yeah,
I'm going to take care of you, Scott.
I hope so. Well, I'm trying to make I'm chipping away at that slowly, but I don't want to force anybody to do something they don't want to do, like be involved with me. I mean, look at me. I'm like a fucking giraffe, human hanger lamppost.
You are thin. I do wish that I was as thin as you.
I wish I could gain a little bit of weight, but as much as I try, Breana,
you just don't. I know.
I just can't.
I saw when we went to Starbucks. Yeah. You cut like 17 pumps of caramel.
I know. Because I'm not sweet enough. I gain
for every ounce of caramel. Pump of caramel. Yeah. I gain a
Do you
pound.
gain weight easily?
Are you kidding me?
Really? You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You're like this tiny little angel.
Thank you.
You're like a little flower.
All my exes that are listening to this are like, she's a devil. She's Satan.
Well, maybe because I don't know that side of you yet, but I would like to. I think it's honestly kind of hot.
Be careful what you wish for.
All right. Well, I'm wishing.
What sign are you?
I'm Aquarius. I'm a
I
sensitive bitch. Oh, and by the way, to go back to your original question about the topic about the signs and all that. Have you remember I talked to you about the Secret Language of Birthdays book? Remember that? When we were on the phone one time.
I was.
Yeah, you might have been a little inebriated, so I don't blame you.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to.
No, it's okay. There's a book called The Secret Language of Birthdays, and it breaks down people's birthdays by the day, not by like a horoscope month or a week or something from like the 11th to the 17th. It breaks it down by the exact day, and it is fucking eerie accurate.
Do you have it?
I don't have it on me, but it's at the house. So you can come over after if you want.
Just to read I told you I'm an astrology whore, so I might.
You're everything but a whore. Okay.
Definitely.
That's for sure. No, I hear what you're saying though. Yeah, I like that stuff. I'm not too dedicated to it. Go ahead. What are you going to say? So you have the book at home? Yeah. And you broke it down for yourself? I did. And it's the first opening line says, people born on this day, January 25th, tend to lead difficult but very interesting and rewarding lives. But the first thing it says is difficult. Yeah. It's like people born on this day tend to live difficult, but interesting and rewarding lives. Well, there's no doubt all three have happened to me. Yeah. And yours is Cancer. I'm a Cancer. My first love and first Your first fiance. And last. Hello. Not first and last. Oh, what do you mean? Because I'm a Cancer. I'm your last love. I see what you're saying. I thought you meant first and last girlfriend from back then. No. Don't worry. I know you've had like 17 relationships after that. Well, see, I guess I'm not that ugly, or maybe my personality it really outshines. I think it's both. It's a combination. You're very charming. I love Howard Stern. Good. You know, my ex actually listens to him every morning. Same. I do too. And he's so funny. He will get off the phone. He would get off the phone. He's like, I need to listen to Howard. Sorry, gotta go. Oh, really? And he got me into him. Yeah. Yeah, I love Howard Stern so much. He's pretty hot. I like guys who are funny, who are witty, who are charming. So you can be really, really ugly, but if you make me laugh, I'm like, you're making me horny. I'm funny looking and I'm funny. So no, you're very good looking. Really turned on right now. I am. Thank you so much. I am. Yeah. I don't know if you're acting or if you're not. I can't tell. Maybe you should get into acting. I know. Right? Because you're pretty fucking good. You know, I went to a psychic many years ago, like over 10 years ago. And she told me when I was going to have my first child. Really? She did. Yes. You went to a mystic? Or an actual psychic? An actual psychic. Wow. She's really big now. And the waiting list is like crazy, crazy, crazy. Really? Yes. And she told me, you're going to have I swear, she's like, you're going to be, I see headphones, something in radio. So it's so funny. No. I swear to you. I mean, I don't know if this is going to happen. But with the whole headphones radio thing is that's wild. And you know, this was way before podcasts. I mean, this was I was so young. And she told me when I was going to meet the person I was going to have a child with. And when I met my baby daddy, I saw him and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have a child with you. And is he in radio at all? No, he's in not. The restaurant business. He owns several restaurants. Yeah, he's a fucking baller. You're baller, yes. I mean, Jesus. That's why I can't offer you anything but my wittiness, my funny looks. That's all the girl wants, you know. All the girl needs. Yes. I don't know the rest of it. And now... And now you're wanting to have a second child. I mean, not today or tomorrow or next month. Definitely not. I definitely like this time with my daughter right now. I love it. I love that it's just her and I. But in the future, yes, 100%. And then I'm going to leave room for the oopsie. Hopefully the next two are from the same dad. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. Damn it. No oopsie. No, I don't need 3 baby daddy drama. The attempt has been made on this podcast. This is a Sketcho Show podcast exclusive. Love that. Thank you. All right. Let's get into did you want to close out with anything else on that last thought? Is there anything else you want to add before we get into the other topics of life? I know. I'm thinking. Take your time. Yeah. I just like looking at you think. Thank you. No, I did say. We're talking about Stern. You're talking about Stern, talking about my baby. Well, let me talk about Stern real quick on some shit that I like about Stern. Yeah, tell me. I like him a lot. Yeah, I like. Did you see? Get closer to the mic for me. Okay. Yeah, get real close, like you're karaoke singing, making out with the mic. I'm karaoke blowjobbing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. By the way, can we just quickly say the joke that you thought of in the hallway when I was giving you the tour? And we went down to the 4th. We made so many. Well, there was a joke. We walked into the Dodgers network and I showed you the studio and we met some of the guys in there. Yeah. And I don't want to, let's not say his name just to put him, I don't want to put him out there. Yeah, we're not going to say his name. But he turned to you and he said, nice to meet you, Breana. And you're all nice to meet you. And he goes, you look so familiar. And in your mind, you were going to say a joke.
I was going to say, wow, you must watch porn a lot. But I'm kidding, obviously.
That would have been, but you didn't say it.
I did, because it's my first time meeting him. I'm like, I didn't, and he was on air, or he was.
You're right, he was about to go on
He
air.
was about to go on air. So I'm like, I don't want to embarrass you, make you look bad. I don't know this guy. So I'm like, let me keep my jokes to myself.
Well, I think it was better that you said it here.
Yeah.
That we have it on
We're
record.
going to surprise him with it.
Yeah, once he gets it. And happy belated birthday to you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, we don't want to say the name.
But you know who you are.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday. TC. I'll say TC. That's all you get. All right. So,
we were talking about Howard. You wanted to say something about him.
What was I going to say about Howard Stern? Oh, it's just, whether people know it or not, in podcasting, the newer, younger generation, some of them don't even know who Howard Stern is. They're like, oh, is that the guy from American Idol? I was like 6 years old. It's kind of sad. But Howard Stern is the fucking reason, the root reason why any of this shit exists.
Yeah.
Like this open conversation we're having is because of Howard Stern.
Yeah, exactly.
He started it. Period.
The reason why you can make porn jokes, like sex jokes, is because of him.
It's all because of Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. Just like everybody's stolen from Seinfeld, everybody's stolen from The Simpsons, everybody's stolen from South Park. Everybody's done all that shit. So whenever new ideas that think they're new, it's already been done.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So people that are doing podcasts are like, this is totally original. I'm totally unique. No, you're not. Like you are, but you're not. Like what you're doing has been done before.
Right.
And it's been done by Howard Stern.
It's just being done in a different form by you now.
Howard Stern is the reason that open conversation started in radio, and then it eventually evolved into Opie and Anthony, or Opie and Andy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they talk about, Joe Rogan talks about them all the time.
And you know what? I actually YouTube Howard Stern because I like to see the video.
Oh, you like the video?
Yeah.
You like his mug. He doesn't like the way he looks.
I know. He always talks about it. He hates that everyone's on Ozempic.
Oh,
because everyone is skinny now.
I'm not on Ozempic. In fact, you know what? Let's get into that real quick, because we were talking about how thin I am, and I know I lost like 20 pounds when I stopped drinking. I used to be heavier, but it was all bloated weight. It wasn't healthy weight. It was like, I feel like shit all the time weight. And since it's been a little over 3 years now that I stopped drinking, once I started losing the weight, people were like, Sketch. They honestly thought something was wrong. Like I was bad, a relapse or something. I'm like, nah, I just stopped drinking. But in order to try to gain that weight back, I drink shakes. I can eat like 1,500 calories to 2,000 calories a day. And it kind of makes me a little bit more cut, but I can't gain muscle mass. Like it's just not my metabolism. Check this out, Breana. I ate 1,500 to 1,600 calories the other night, right? I was so full. And then I went to start editing in one Pro Tools session, right? What I edit the podcast on, what I edit big boy stuff on, commercials and whatnot. I edited something and it took me a couple hours. By the time I finished, I had literally thought away 1,500 calories with my mind. Like that's how much brain power I'm using that it just, I was hungry again by the end.
Wow.
And I went and ordered DoorDash.
Wow.
That's, my body just can't hold on to weight. It can't hold on to.
Yeah.
It's just
but
like.
You're also very tall.
Yeah, I'm like a giraffe. I know. Yeah.
Like,
and you are you're small.
I'm like a short, chubby little Oompa Loompa.
No, you're definitely not chubby. That's for goddamn sure. No, you're not chubby at all. You're like a little Thumbelina version of a Kardashian. But are you Latina, right? You're Mexican?
I'm Mexican, 100%.
Right? Do you speak Espanol?
I do.
Really? Can you talk to me a little bit in Espanol? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? In Espanol.
No, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, can you just a little bit?
I'm not going to.
Can you just tell me how to say something in Spanish? Like, not to have a full conversation, say, ¿Cómo se dice en español? Can I take you to lunch?
Okay, no.
How do you say it?
You know Ghost, right?
Ghost.
From Power, the show.
Oh, I've seen, I haven't seen it, but I know Chum. I thought you meant the one
have
with
you heard
Patrick
him speak
Swayze.
Spanish?
What, in Ghost?
Yeah.
I have not. I've never watched the show.
I can't tell you. I mean, you won't understand the joke then because that's how my Spanish sounds.
Let's hear it anyway.
What do you want me to say?
Just say, so, ¿Cómo se dice en español? I'm doing a podcast with my friend.
I don't know how to say podcast in Spanish.
You would just say it in English.
Estoy haciendo un podcast.
Say it again. Say it again. You giggles.
I know. I'm not even high. Why am I laughing?
You're high on life.
I'm nervous. That's
why are you nervous?
I'm so anxious.
Oh.
Estoy haciendo un podcast.
Wow, you do speak Espanol. You know what I like about you, Breana? You sound like you're white when you talk, like I do, right? But we're both Mexican. But you speak Spanish perfectly. Like that's how my ex-girlfriend was. She spoke.
Did I remind you of your ex?
No, she just
No, I'm your next.
In some ways of the way you speak, because she spoke articulate, right? Like
what ethnicity is she?
Mexican and Afghani, right?
Oh,
but
hot.
I know, super hot.
Yeah.
But she would. She had like the very proper delivery. Hi, how are you? Okay. Oh, do you want to order some food tonight, babe? Yeah, let's order.
Oh, that's
and then
sweet.
we go to a restaurant. They only spoke Spanish, and she would talk fluently, and then talk in English regular. And I love that. That ability to do that is very.
No mames, güey, quiero un burrito.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Sketcho Show Español exclusive. How do you say? ¿Cómo se dice exclusive in español?
Exclusive.
Exclusive. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you're having fun, right?
This is so much fun. I'm so happy.
You've never done a podcast.
I've never done a podcast.
And you've never been to a radio station before.
No. So you popped my cherry.
Ooh, wow. God.
Thank you for popping my cherry today. Love
unbelievable. What work have you done prior to having your kid? Did you do, didn't we talk about this at all? Did you do any type of modeling or anything like that? Like before you had your kid, did you work in any industry prior to having Ava?
I mean, yeah, of course. I don't think I was a stay-at-home girlfriend.
You were a stay-at-home girlfriend?
I said I was not. I wish I was. No, my first job ever was at Tilly's.
Really?
Yeah. Tilly's.
That's so sweet.
It was cute. I was like, 15? Remember when they were paying like $7 an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I got like a raise after a month, 25 cents. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I'm going to stay here. And then I moved over to PacSun. PacSun is like, just a little bit better than Tilly's back in the day.
Okay.
It was more expensive.
Retail.
Yes.
Right.
And then I was an executive assistant for a background check company, for the CEO of a background check company. That was probably one of my favorite jobs, just because I was able to work with the CEO one-on-one, and I learned so much from that man.
What did you do there? And it sounds like a corporate job.
It was not corporate.
Oh.
It was, thank God, all my jobs have been like referrals, so I've never really done a formal interview.
You know what I could see you doing? I'm not gonna lie. I could see you as an account executive here at iHeart. And essentially what they do is sell airtime to clients by commercials.
I'll look into it.
You might have to have a little bit more experience, but you have personality to do it.
When I said I'll look into it, you're like, not yet. You can't just go apply.
Well, you got to have a little experience. But the thing is that like...
Well, I'm not going to do it today.
No, I know. We're going on iHeartRadio jobs right now as we speak. I'm clicking on.
I'm Googling, how can I get into iHeartRadio?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think more so it's all about having personality and wit. You can't teach that in any school. You just like you can't really teach comedy. You can teach structures of jokes, but you can't teach somebody to be funny. Yeah. Right. And I feel like you have an innate ability to people to like you, not just because you're very pretty, but because like you have an outgoing personality that people like, and that hair flip doesn't hurt either. Yeah. I think it's a Celsius drink. It's like crack. I swear. I'm like so hyper right now. I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah, I'm going to go for like, they're a little clammy. I'm not lying. Feel them. I love that. I love that you're nervous. Yeah. All right. Well, we're having fun. We are having a blast. This is just a conversation, we're just talking some shit. Yeah. So you worked in those, you worked at the, what is it called? The background check company. And what, did you find any crazy shit on people that you can tell us? All the time. What did you find? I mean, I don't remember exactly, but like murders. Are you serious? So for example, let's say like Target would hire us. This is just an example, right? And say, hey, can you run these background checks for these employees? Or the worst is like when we would, like a school bus would send us people to run background checks on, and like let's say they have like 3 DUIs and we bypass that and we just didn't see that, and then we would say, oh, okay, he's clear, like, which means like, oh, he doesn't have a record, and then they hire him, and then later on they find out this bus driver has 3 DUIs, like, and then we would like lose a client that way. So shit like that, you had to be very like focused. And then how do you Do you break the news to the client?
Yeah, we all looked at each other like, who's going to call?
Right.
I'm not going to call. That's not my client. That's your client.
And how would the clients react?
Oh my God, livid. They would. Sometimes I never lost my job. I chose to stop working for them. But I mean, people would get fired all the time for, really big errors like that. So that was very stressful. I would have nightmares.
Real heinous crimes other than DUIs. You said murder.
Yeah.
Really? You found a murder on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wow.
You would see their mugshots. I would love to just look at the mugshots.
That is
wild. I would see that hot guy he became a model after he got out of prison.
Which hot guy?
He has green eyes. What's his name?
I don't know.
I need to. Okay, this is going to bother me. Let me Google him.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I would see guys like that, and I'm like, oh my God, wait, you're in Ohio? Never mind, because I live in LA, so this isn't going to work.
Wait, Ohio? What, it brought up Ohio on your?
I mean, different states. They would send it to us.
I see what you're saying.
Hot guy from prison who became a model. I'm not kidding. You've seen him before. Oh, Meeks. Is that his name, Meeks?
Oh, yeah. He looks
Meeks
like an actor, like a stunt double. Yeah. Yeah, he's scary looking. Yeah. But also good looking.
Very.
God, I wish I had that kind of look. I don't. Nobody's afraid of me.
You want to look like a criminal?
I want to kind of look like people I wouldn't fuck with that dude. That dude looks like he'll fucking break your jaw just by his stare. If looks can kill, you're dead by his mugshot.
Jeremy Meeks.
Jeremy Meeks. Shout out. We're not talking shit. Just FYI.
Don't come after us.
Please.
I said you're hot.
Yeah, me too.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, I have a few. Well,
I do too.
Number one, Taylor Swift.
Oh,
all day.
Don't mess with Travis's girl.
No, but I'm terrified of her too. I wouldn't know what to do with that. Yeah. I'm terrified of that. Like, I just think she is like a sexy alien. And I like that she's white and she's kind of goofy. I like that. I love that, like the 4th grade bangs.
Yes. I'm a big fan of that.
I don't like bangs. I'll be honest with you. But she converted me into liking bangs. You're a banger. I'm a banger now. I'm a banger. Bangs banger. What's up, dog? You got some bangs, dog? That's what's up, dog.
I'm going to come in with bangs next week.
No, please. No, don't. I mean, you probably could look really cute with them. I'm not going to lie. You probably would,
I can't.
I don't like bangs, but on Taylor Swift, it works. And on Gwen Stefani, it works.
Oh, my God.
A few other ladies that I know, it works. But bangs are hard to pull off. They are.
Yeah, but those are white girls. I think that's the secret. You have to be white.
Yeah, I like white girls nowadays. I mean, I like Mexican Latina chicks too, but that's for a while. That's all I dated in my earlier.
So you got that out of your system.
It wasn't until I met one in particular white lady that really made me fond of white women. And then Taylor Swift came along and was 33 now. And I was like, oh, now I can like her. And it's not weird, And then the Eras Tour started and I was like, fuck, I love this chick. She's genius. Aside from her beauty, aside from all that shit, it's the talent and it's her good human nature that makes her really hot. Yeah. It's just, she just seems like a beacon of good. Yeah. And I'm sure she has a toxic mean streak.
She's like a walking white light around her. Right. Like she's just glowing. Yeah. I love her.
And I just think that David Letterman said it best. He was like, she's a beacon of hope and good in the world, in a dismal world that is dark right now, especially with all the wars. And, she helped raise the economy single-handedly. It's like, dude, you can hate on her as much as you want, other people, but it's like, dog, you can't deny the talent. Right. You can't deny that she's fucking put in the work. She re-sang all those songs, Taylor's version.
Which I know.
Okay, now check this out. That's as like equivalent to as if like Dr. Dre one day said, yeah, I'm going to recompose all my beats from scratch. Like, what? Yeah. Could you imagine how much time and effort that would take? And he's not even rapping or singing. He's just going to recompose all his beats. Could you imagine the fucking work that would have to be put into that? That's what Taylor did. Yeah. Re-sang all her fucking albums. Yeah. Like, come on, man. And people were like, I'm sick of her. I can't stand her. Bullshit. You're just hating. You're just hating.
Yeah, I totally agree with the whole haters. Like, she doesn't even know you exist. You think she cares.
Right, exactly. She doesn't know I exist.
Wait, you have a friend who does a podcast that's dedicated to Taylor Swift.
Yeah. We started the Let Thee Be and Destiny, her niece Destiny, her actual biological niece Destiny. Yeah. They started the Taylor Talk podcast department in honor of the Tortured Poets department. It'll already be out by the time I think this podcast gets published. So, yeah, we started that, and I'm helping produce it. And she's a Swiftie. I'll attribute Let Thee Be to converting me into more of a Swiftie. than I was before. Because before I just liked because she was hot. That's all I really knew. And
you don't know why you liked her.
I liked her, and I knew I liked her music, but I didn't know her music. And then the Eras tour happened, and Letty B was really into that, and and some other young ladies here or Swifties, they kind of made me go, wow, what's this woman all about? Right? So I watched all the documentaries on her. I watched.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. And then when the Eras tour. When the movie came out, I watched it because I didn't go to the show. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, whoa, this is really like the amount of production value, and 3 hours long, and it doesn't feel like it.
Wow.
That takes.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's on Disney Plus.
What is it on?
Disney Plus,
perfect. I just got
So
that.
I watched it again, but then I went through each of her, like, so if you go on the Eras tour, if you go on Apple Music and you go to the Eras tour thing, Taylor Swift, and then you punch in like whatever album that comes up on that track list for the Eras tour, it takes you to that album. I went through each of her album for every fucking Eras tour or era that she went through and listened from beginning to end, no skipping.
Wow.
Just to really understand this woman. And now I do. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Now you're like, Tay-Tay, I get you now.
I get you now. And I'm
my
on
girl.
board. I'm on Team Taylor all day.
You're a Swiftie.
But celebrity crushes, I have, several celebrity crushes. But what about you? Who's your Pitbull? I know Pitbull is one of yours. You like that?
I have like 17.
Go ahead.
Idris Elba.
Oh, you like that? Huh?
I do.
You like the British black gentleman.
I do.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Can you do a British accent?
When I'm drunk, I do. It
Can we
comes
do a
out.
bit of a British accent right now? So you like my mate Idris Elba, you do?
You do a really good one.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not bad
really
at all.
good.
But I can't really speak Spanish, which really sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like the only Mexican that does a really good British accent. It's weird, right? And
How do you speak Spanish? Can you speak Spanish in a British accent?
I wish, you know what I wish there was? I wish that, you know how like there's a lot of Australian and British actors like Idris Elba who can come over to America and do the American accent perfectly, and then you don't even know they're not American until later.
I love when that happens, when, a bunch of actors are actually Australian.
So imagine like my weird way of thinking is like, you never hear Latino or like, the paisa Mexican. They're like, oh yeah, it's a real tiny over here. The one right here, the one cassette. So those people that talk like that in the broken English paisa accent.
Yeah.
I always imagine, what if one of them became an actor and they were like, oh, I have the one role in the one movie is going to be good. And then they get in the movie and they're like, how you doing? I'm doing this role.
Right.
And, or they even do a British accent. They're like, what's up, mate? Doing really well?
Yeah.
All right. You want to get a pint down in the bar? All right. And then they go back, cut. Okay. Was that good take? Oh, okay. Like, I wonder if there's anybody.
If there's anyone that exists like that. Yes. We would love to meet you.
It's just me. I think I'm the only one that exists like that.
Yeah, it's just you.
Oh my God. So I want to hear your British accent. Here, I won't look at you. I'm going to turn around. Come on. I'm going to talk to you in British. British
I don't
accent.
even know how to do it.
It's like top of the morning to you. It's a bit of stop and go, wouldn't you agree?
I want some coffee.
Usually like a spot of tea. You want a cuppa? You want a cup of tea?
I want some vodka.
Vodka? Well, keep going.
That's all I know how to
That's all
say.
you know?
That's all I know.
What about a little bed knobs and broomsticks?
I bet I can do a better one later. Like when I call you, we talk about this.
All right, we'll do it then.
We'll
what
do
about,
it.
would you like a bit of a, would you like a grease down in a shiatsu?
I don't know what that means.
Check. All right, full transparency here. We're picking back up because what we're recording on cut out. We're recording on Vox Pro, and evidently, it ran out of memory. And I'm glad I turned around and I saw that it had stopped mid-recording, so we had to pick back up. We didn't lose too much, but you wanted me to talk about my Uber experience,
Uber days,
right? When I was an Uber Lyft driver. And that was what led into this conversation, is that people think that they own you because they buy stuff from you. So, or if they put in an order, like with your Baby Sunnies, they want stuff right away. But let's circle back to your Baby Sunnies before this thing cuts out again.
We'll have to do a part 2 if we run out of time.
Oh, of course we can. No problem. And I can always record on Adobe Audition too. That's another program we record on. But we were getting into your Baby Sunnies talk and how you invented it. And then when people put in orders, do they hit you up and say, can I get a screenshot, a picture? Can you send me what you've made so far? But they could just go onto your Instagram at baby_sunnies.
Yes.
And how do you spell Sunnies? SUNNIES.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you for following me, Sketch. I know you were one of the first people that started following me. So thank you. And it's so interesting because sometimes it's not even people that you speak to on a daily or have spoken to. These are, I have friends from high school that have been supporting this business since I started, which has only been like about a month long.
It's really new.
It's very new. It's very small. And right now I have the luxury to respond to every single question and every single inquiry personally. So, right now, if customers do ask me for a photo throughout the process, I can do that, instantly. But at the same time, I'm like, just trust me. It's going to be cute. I promise you, I'm not going to send you something I wouldn't put on my own kid.
Right. And you have put these on your own kid. And
she has like 17 pairs.
Perfect segue into your own kid. You brought 2 pairs of your originally custom-made Baby Sunnies for Letty B's daughter, Sophia.
Yes.
Right? And
I made these for Sophia.
This is before the Vox Pro cut out. That I open it up and there it is. There's 2 pairs. I like the white ones the best.
Yeah.
These are dope too. The flower version.
Those are like casual, whatever.
My
like Monday through Thursday. These are like your weekend. My heart sunnies.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna take these to Disneyland. I'm gonna flaunt all these hoes and I'm gonna show
with my custom made gear.
With my custom Baby Sunnies.
And you didn't want to reveal the sources of where you get the sunglasses from, which is totally fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm going to say this right now, and I wanted to mention this before we got cut off by the Vox Pro, is that the lettering you put on the sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but I've seen your videos of how you're putting the letters on. And it reminds me of friendship bracelets.
Yeah. I was going to say Travis Scott.
Barker? What?
No, you said Barker. Yeah. I said Scott. Oh. No, Travis Kelce wears one.
Oh yeah, he has friendship bracelets. That's how he hooked up with Taylor.
Yeah, with
he's put a phone number on.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around with a bracelet with my phone number. Whatever guy pays attention, you have my number.
That's actually that would be a good trend to start. Right? And you leave 1 digit off and he has to figure it out. Or he's
forced to talk to me and ask me because, like guys.
I did.
Yes.
Like I went up and I was like, you got pretty feet.
You're like, what's up, girl? Let me see your feet. I'm like, here you go.
I didn't call you girl though, did I? No, I don't like saying that to women. I'm like,
no,
what's up, girl?
No, Vic actually really introduced us.
That's right. That's how we started the show. That part didn't get cut off. Thank God. But just some of the other stuff did. I don't know exactly where we got cut off. Like after the Australian sketch,
we had such a good combo going.
I know, but it was
good rhythm.
It was good rhythm, and we kind of have to pick back up. But that's what happens in podcasting and in radio. This is technical difficulties happen, and we're talking about
my OnlyFans for feet. Oh, that's what we were going to talk about. Yeah. OnlyFans. For feet.
So let's get into OnlyFans.
Let's get into it.
We talked a little bit about it at the top, which was still there, but you never really got into it. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
Honestly,
because there is a sacrifice involved. You're sacrificing your feet to the world.
They're not ready.
They say, "Don't put my feet to the fire." You're about to put your feet.
I mean, I think I would do it without. I would have to different name. Everything would not be my identity. My real one. I would totally mask that, and I would do it for a short amount of time. I would give myself a month. Let's just see how this goes.
Yeah,
to be completely honest.
A lot of money.
And then maybe I won't stop.
Now, check this out. Howard Stern. We're talking about our love for Howard Stern. Yeah. That part didn't get cut off, I don't believe. But just to go back to that, in the feet, this all correlates to the feets thing.
Okay.
Is that one woman called up who was a teacher, right? And they're vastly underpaid and underappreciated.
Totally.
I'm talking about elementary school. Right?
Oh my God, yes.
And I guess this is high school. She was a high school teacher. And so eventually she started doing an OnlyFans for feet, right? One of her students, now graduated, paid his former teacher to send pics of her feet on OnlyFans. And he knew it was her. I don't know how, but at some point, or maybe he didn't. Maybe it just happened like that.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a happy coincidence.
Yeah, happy coincidence as opposed to a happy ending.
Yeah.
Hey! Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe he got the happy ending. We don't know.
I hope so. But she did say that one person, not her student, paid her $20,000 for a set of feet photos that he could worship. That's 20 grand.
Did you see the photos?
I didn't, but Howard was talking about it. And she was on the phone, the woman who did it. She was like, this man paid me $20,000.
It's insane. I mean, people, not that I know, but I have came across videos on TikTok where girls sell their dirty socks.
Oh, yeah. And
that's
farts
a thing.
In a jar.
And this girl, a girl from 90 Day Fiancé sold her farts in a jar. I'm like...
Made a fortune. Anyway, but the feet thing is a definite possibility because you could
Would you, let's say, let's honestly,
go ahead.
If I were to make an OnlyFans for my feet, Would you subscribe?
Well, I mean, as long as I knew it was really you.
Would you be willing to date someone who has an OnlyFans?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I remember Big and the neighborhood having this topic of discussion about if you're with your significant other and that significant other is doing an OnlyFans, how are you able to deal with that?
Right.
Now, if I was with you in a hypothetical situation,
Yes.
situation, and we were together and you're like, babe, do it in your voice, how you would present, how you would pitch.
Okay, this is how I would pitch it.
Go ahead.
Babe, you know I'm a single mother and I don't want to put Ava in daycare at this time.
I hear you.
And, you know, I really do want to bring in my own income.
Yes.
That way we can, live better.
Go ahead.
And do more things and buy more experiences. And I want to stay home. So I was thinking that I can start. No, not yet. But I was thinking that I can start an OnlyFans for my feet, and you will have access to, my Instagram, or if that makes you feel more comfortable.
Right.
I'm going to need your help taking my content, and as
You want to take pictures of your feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
You know what, babe? If this is something you feel strongly about, I'm on team Breana Feets all day.
Yeah.
As long as I get the first set
Let's
of
get that bread. My uncle was like, dude, totally do it. And you can smash cake with your toes.
Oh, yes.
That's what he
You can even go I Love Lucy. You can go I Love Lucy and step on grapes and make wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was giving me these ideas and I'm like, would I actually do it?
That's the question. That's the $20,000 question.
You'll just have to wait and see.
This could be a coming soon.
A part two.
Show podcast.
Yeah.
Exclusive. Well, I mean, look, if you do actually go through with it, you will make money. There is no doubt about it. There is no, will I make? Yes, it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee with your feet on OnlyFans. I would have to guesstimate and predict within the first month, you'll make at least $5,000 to $10,000.
Are you? Is that like a promise or?
It's a guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
With your feet and on OnlyFans, and you present it and you do, you'll have people subscribing and paying you to do certain things like step on cake.
Right. And then you just upcharge them.
Right.
Like if you want my toast to be pink or,
or say your name.
Or
Say you put little letters.
like Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Yes.
Or Kevin.
It's going to be an extra $200.
Or Christian. Or
sketchy.
Sketchy. Or sketch-o-matic. So you have to put sketch on one foot
on
and
the
then
big toe.
on the other.
S on the big toe. O
across
on the big
both
toe.
feet.
Yeah.
Both,
love that.
Yeah, both sets of toes.
Yeah.
That would cost a lot of money. For a stranger. For somebody.
Yeah, but for you.
Yeah.
Because you're taking my content, you agree to.
I'm your producer.
You're my producer. I mean, I might have to do a couple free trials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please. I'm serious. We should really look into this. This
is a good business opportunity for both of us.
We're OnlyFans. We're an OnlyFans couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're only a couple on OnlyFans.
That's it. I'm just your
We're pod dating.
I'm your pod date and I'm your OnlyFans husband.
My only man. On my OnlyFans.
Only feet and only mans.
Yes.
Only mans?
Only mans.
That sounds like it would be more for the gay community.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
These are all just, we could possibly manifest this into reality.
Yeah.
If you're willing to go through with it. But the whole point of wanting to even do an OnlyFans about feet. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I want to circle back to what Big Boy said about dating someone who has an OnlyFans.
They opened up the phone lines to it. And a lot of people were like, I wouldn't be cool with it. But then some people were like, yo, if she's bringing in, and it's mostly going to be she people, okay? It's not going to be some dude. Right. Some dudes have tried to do that. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but OnlyFans is really predominantly ran by women. Right. I mean, they are fucking bringing in ridiculous amounts of money.
Didn't that girl from The Sopranos? She just said that she.
Oh yeah, Drea. She played Adriana on The Sopranos.
Yes.
God,
she's so beautiful.
Oh my God.
She just said that she went on OnlyFans.
And her son got mad.
Yes. Yes. See, that's why, because I think about my daughter, I do not want to ever put her in a position where, haha, your mom's on OnlyFans. Like, obviously she's so small.
Did it by going on as Drea. she put herself out there as her.
But she was about to lose her house, I think.
And I say, go for it, Drea. Go for it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known. I would have subscribed just to help.
Help support the house.
You don't want the house, or I guess is escrow, whatever that means. Some fucking weird word like that.
Yeah, I don't want her to lose her home.
Yeah, I don't want her to lose her home.
That's why I did it.
I would want to, I'd want to support. But I don't know what she was doing. I think she was just putting risque lingerie type.
I mean, girls do it all the time for men that they just met. Why not get paid for it?
You know, it's a trip too that really bugs me out about OnlyFans and people tripping on that. But yet porn is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country. Okay. And what's weird about porn and prostitution is if you hire a prostitute, it's illegal, right? Mm-hmm. Yet if you film yourself having sex with the prostitute and you put it on the internet, that's porn and you're good to go. So as long as you're filming, it's fine. But if you hire somebody in the privacy of your own home between two consenting adults, that's illegal. What?
Right.
It's like our priorities in this country are
insane.
Are like remixed backwards.
Yeah, totally.
I don't understand it.
I mean, I think half of Instagram girls get paid to have sex with, well-known men. Yeah. And I mean, to each his own, honestly. I don't judge at all. I don't judge. Whatever. Like, if you want to get paid for, or if you're accepting money and this guy's offering money, okay, to go on a vacation and you guys have sex there, then good for you. Yeah.
And you want to be that girlfriend experience type
good
thing.
For you. Yeah. So many women do it for free. I mean, if you are smart enough to not do it for free, or if that's what you want to do and don't want to do it for free, then that's on you. If you just want to be a girlfriend and get cheated on for free, then that's good for you too.
There's plenty of that out there as well.
So to each his own, I don't judge.
I just feel as long as you're not hurting anybody.
As long as you're not hurting anyone. Right. And you get a curable, if you get an STD, it has to be curable. Right.
That's the other thing. A lot of people, it seems like STDs, people have forgotten about STDs. They're still out there.
They're still out there.
Yeah, just like COVID. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, and so it's like herpes and all that shit. Yeah. It's here. Myself, I'll be honest, I haven't been with anybody in bed and had sex in a couple of years. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like a monk now. Yeah. All I do is work and I go home. Or I work from home. So I
mean, would you be willing to buy a girlfriend experience?
Well, I don't have that kind of money, to be honest. And that's why I'm saying.
How much is it? Or do you know?
Thousands of dollars. I mean, I know this. I know just getting a sex worker to come to you is like $500 to $600 just to get them in the room. And then the rest of it, whatever you do between y'alls is more. Yeah, so if you're having intercourse, that's going to cost probably another $500 or $1,000, sometimes even $2,000.
That's scary, though. Yeah. I mean, you don't even know that person, let's say.
But yet, you can kind of get the same benefit. For me, it's just watching a quick clip of some porn. Right. I get it out because men's sex drive gets them in trouble. Men have two heads. Right. And we think with the wrong one most of the time, especially when you're drinking and you're partying. Oh, now the second head is taken over. Right. And it's making you do dumb shit. Right. And I know this because I've lived it. But now that I'm sober-ish.
So what does that mean, sober-ish?
I don't drink anymore and I don't do coke anymore. Because
how long? Okay, so if I say, hey, Sketch, let's go get a margarita. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a virgin one?
I'd probably just get a Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could have a virgin one too, because I do like the taste of them. Yeah. Or I might even just have a sip of yours, just because if I drank a whole margarita with you, I get fucked up real quick. Yeah. Because I haven't drank in so long.
Let's enter one margarita. I'm going to give you some, that song, that clip. No, I'm not telling you. I'm saying that's a song.
Oh, it is. Say it again. What is it? In the clear. Go ahead. What is it?
I think that's how it goes. One margarita, I'm going to open my legs. Two margaritas, I'm going to give you some head.
Three? What's three?
I'm going to open my legs. I'm going to let you put it in my pussy.
And four?
I think that's how it goes.
4 leads to anal?
I think so.
Wow. What's 5?
I don't know. There's a song. You need to listen to it.
Okay.
One margarita, I'm going to open my legs. Give me 2 margaritas, I'm going to give you some head. Give me 3 margaritas, I'm going to put it in my puss. Give me 4 margaritas, I'm going to put it in my tush. Give me 5 margaritas, I'm going to get some fun. Give me 5 margaritas, I'm going to put it in your
Okay, and how long have you been sober-ish?
3.5, 3 and some change. 3
okay.
years. Well,
did Coke, whenever you drank, you had to do Coke?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By if I was drinking by 1:30 a.m., I'm calling my dealer.
Oh, really?
Getting a
good little baggie.
A good baggie. Not an 8-ball, but definitely like a solid little, 6.
Or 2 if I know I'm going to go.
If I can get 2, yeah. But I was like a Hoover vacuum. I can go through it quick. The problem is that it's an expensive habit. Mm-hmm. Both my dealers died, by the way.
From that?
No, one of them didn't do any of it. He died from, I believe, sleep apnea. And he also smoked 2 packs of Newports a day, which didn't help. But he didn't do any of that shit. He just sold it. He'd like to drink wine and take Molly every now and again, but he wasn't into that upper shit. Like
Did you go to his funeral?
I didn't even know, because our business relationship was so low key that, I didn't even know where it happened or when and where it happened. I just know he died, and a mutual friend of ours said that he died. And I immediately was like, wow, that's the universe going, hi, I'm a red flag. Nice to meet you.
Right.
And then my second dealer died, and he did coke. And he was kind of a bigger guy, kind of like a Chris Farley, but Filipino, right? Funny guy. He had a heart attack.
How old was he?
About to be 40.
Wow,
39.
That's so young.
Yeah. But he was having a heart attack for a few days, and he didn't even know it. And the reason I know this is because my Uncle Jerry had a heart attack for a few days, and he didn't know it. He was like dry heaving. And you know how people in the movies, when they see a guy or a man having a heart attack, they grab their chest. Right? Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes that's called a massive heart attack, right?
Okay.
A regular heart attack takes days, and you don't even know what's happening. You just don't know. And yet Rosie O'Donnell had one. My Uncle Jerry Neeson had one, and he had to get a quadruple bypass surgery.
Right.
And in doing so, 6 months later, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So the point is that when you're having a heart attack, it's not going to be the grabbing the chest, falling, and so dramatic, cinematic type of heart attack. You may not even know you're having it. Sometimes I felt like I was having a heart attack when I was doing coke, and I would be afraid to go to sleep because I was afraid I wouldn't wake up.
Oh my goodness.
So I'd stay up as long as possible until I started feeling somewhat normal again, and then I would kind of drift off.
Did you stop because the second dealer died, or did you stop because you wanted that habit to die?
I think both what you just said. I think I wanted to stop,
right, but
I wasn't going to stop myself. What it really took, Breana, was my mom dying in 2017. I still kept partying after that. And, but then once the first dealer died, I was like, oh shit. And in 2019, I got hired at iHeart.
Okay.
But I was still drinking. I wasn't partying on the blow anymore because of the first dealer was gone. But then the second dealer was gone, and I'm like, oh shit, this is a sign 2 times from the universe. Maybe even my mom.
Yeah.
Like something in me was like, you need to stop or you're going to be next.
Right.
And once 2021 rolled around, because I kept drinking through that time and through the pandemic, even more so during the pandemic. And the morning of 2021 came, and it was New Year's morning, and I drank my last 6-pack of Stella, the beer. And with every sip I took, I know I'm beating a dead horse here because I've reiterated this on the podcast multiple times, but just for you, since you haven't heard this, it's like, I woke up, I drank all that. I went to 7-Eleven at 6 a.m. New Year's morning, and I bought my last 6-pack, and every sip I took of those bottles was like drinking fucking bleach. You know what I mean? Like my body was literally telling me that's it.
Yeah.
It was screaming out to me. I could like hear
your pores are literally yelling at you.
Yeah. They're like, my liver was like, please stop.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, again, it was something to do with my mom. My mom died of liver failure. My mom had a pretty major drinking problem towards the end of her life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was vodka that pretty much destroyed it. And
that's scary.
It is. And it made me and my sisters like go, oh shit. Right. So I stopped drinking. My sister Ariana stopped drinking. And I never went to AA. She's like big time in AA, more power to you. I don't feel like I need it. I always say I drank enough for 3 lifetimes.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah. I drank so much alcohol.
Yeah.
I was the full functioning alcoholic that I would have to go to work and drink at work just to feel normal. You ever seen that movie, Nicolas Cage, Leaving Las Vegas with Elizabeth Shue? It's an old movie. You're too young. But if you do see it come on TV one time and you're not being a mom and you're not making your baby sunnies, watch that movie, because that's kind of like where I was at.
Wow.
Like you had to drink to feel normal.
So let me ask you a question. If you were to date someone who does socially drink.
Oh, I don't care.
Would that be okay?
No, I don't care. So go back to the margarita thing. If you and I, after this, we go get a margarita at Don Cuco's or whatever, I'll pour you the drink. I'll make you the drink. I just don't have any need for it myself. It's not saying that I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm struggling. Every day's a struggle.
No,
I'm cool.
Totally.
Like you drink it, you do a couple of lines in front of me.
Right.
Fine with me. I don't give a shit. I'm just at a point in my life where it's not a priority like it was for me back in the day. I had to stay high. I had to stay drunk. I had to. It's like I had to do it to keep from shaking.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm cool. I just drink coffee, I smoke weed, and I vape nicotine. That's it. I'm kind of boring. Yeah. And I'm happy. I'm content. And I feel like the universe gave me that gift of sobriety, of sober-ish sobriety. Yeah. And I don't want to squander it. You know, I don't want to ruin that and relapse because I have an addictive personality. I know when I drink hard. Right.
So you don't stop at, let's say 2. No. You have to finish the pitcher.
I'm finishing the bar. Yeah. Like I would drink so much that other people who drank more than I did were concerned about me.
Wow.
That's how.
Would they tell you? Did you have friends and family saying, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh, even here, Big, Jason, like everybody was concerned about me. And but when you're in it, when you're in the throes of alcoholism, forget the Coke thing. You can only do Coke for so long. You can do it every day, but it pretty soon you can just do it and just go. But with alcohol, like it's so detrimental to your health and to the brain chemistry, right? And if you combine Coke with alcohol, it changes the chemistry of your brain and your anatomy, your biological makeup. It totally fucking just reverses it.
In hindsight, I don't even know how to word this.
Take your time.
How was your behavior coming down on the Coke and the alcohol?
That's a great question. It was fucked up. I burned a lot of bridges with people.
Were you in a relationship at that time?
I was with my ex-girlfriend, and she liked to party a little bit too, but I would project all my fucking anger and all my irritability on her and people at work. Yeah. Like I would project, and I wasn't even aware of it. I thought I was being a man or standing up for myself, but really, I mean, in some cases I was, and I'm not saying I was the worst person. I still turned in my work. I still loved my girlfriend. I still tried to be good, but I was always on edge. And people felt like they had to walk on eggshells around me. Right. I remember hearing that a lot. And I just didn't see it. Why? Because when you're in the throes of alcoholism, you're right. Even when you're wrong, you're right. Yep. And you find an excuse how it's everybody else's fault. Right. That's what I was doing. Yeah. And it took my mom dying. It took my dealers dying for me to really get the fucking message. You need to change some shit. And then once I was able to stop drinking and the fog from my head cleared up, then I was able to really look back in retrospect and try to right those wrongs. And that's the reason why I started this podcast is to, in a way, it's like a 12-step program where I issue podcast public apologies to certain guests I've had on that I may have done wrong.
Sketch. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you know, it's just honest and transparent.
It's really brave though. Not a lot of people can come on here and admit, you know, what they've done wrong. Yeah. Apologize for their wrongdoing. So that's really big, and you should give yourself a lot of credit for doing that.
I'll let you give me the credit. It sounds better coming.
Well, you have my credit. I'm giving you the credit right now. Wow. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I like doing this podcast and bringing people in who aren't in radio, who don't really know me. Even people who work here, just because we work together, we don't really see each other.
Just because we work together doesn't mean we work together.
Right. And we don't know each other. Like they're my colleagues, my peers, but they don't know about the history of the old Omatic. They don't know about the substance abuse. A lot of them don't know about that. And some of them have a misjudgment. I don't want to say misjudgment. They don't know the story. So in their mind, you know how you kind of put your own stories to people in your own head? Yeah. Not that you're judging them. You just kind of put your own analyzed verdict on people that you don't know.
You piece together what you want to piece and the version that you want to see of that, even if it makes sense or not. And you know what? When you start to not care how other people see you, that comes with experience and a lot later to not give a fuck. And then you just start not even correcting. Like, if you hear a rumor about me, really, I did that? Tell me more.
Tell me more. Cool. And come on my podcast and tell me.
Come on my podcast and tell me. And tell me what I did, because I clearly don't know. I did that.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a struggle for me at my 46 years on this planet. And I feel like I'm just getting the hang of being an adult.
Why don't you give us one of your favorite piece of advice that you've received at your age?
All right. Well, let me.
You just told me one. I really liked it when we were outside.
Wait, what was it?
We were talking about the VP, remember? Oh,
go ahead.
You're going to have basically problems wherever you go.
Right. So a couple of times I was on the verge of wanting to leave my position.
Yeah.
And because some people make things difficult and frustrating and infuriating. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that, but I get my job done, right? I work hard and other people work hard. But just like when you say people leaving people on red and not communicating, in my line of work, I need a definitive answer on shit to get to the next task, right? And without an answer, I can't move forward, or I can, but I still need to go back to that other thing that I need to know where it goes or whatever. So if I'm not getting responses, it starts to irritate me. And eventually it gets to a point where, at a boiling point where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore because I feel like I'm just talking into space, asking for answers, and there's nothing.
Right.
And these are people that I work with, not just in radio, but outside of radio too, that want shit from me.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, well, do you want it this way or that way? And they just leave you on red.
Yeah.
And then they get mad when you don't respond, but they don't respond. Right. And I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is foolish. Yeah. I just want to move away and go live with my sister up north and just forget about all this shit. Sometimes that runs through my mind. Okay.
Okay.
But I talk to my VP, and I also call him Dad. And
Zaddy.
It wasn't. I vented my frustrations, but another friend who's not in radio talked to me, and she goes, Sketch, even if you get transferred to another department, even if you quit and you move somewhere else and you get another job, you're still going to have to re-familiarize yourself with someone else's bullshit. So there's an old expression, the devil you know. Sometimes, and Howard Stern says this too, if you have a good position at work, especially in radio, and even though you have to hold your nose and wade through the bullshit day in and day out, if you got a good gig, hold on to it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it sucks sometimes and it's rough, but it could be way worse.
Right.
Right. And I have to remember that. So my advice is, the best advice I got is that it's like, sometimes you got to just go with the devil, and just kind of meaning like, that person's bullshit that you work with, that coworker that you can't stand, but you know what to expect from them and what not to expect from them.
Yeah.
That's the advice I got, was like, just thug it out, suck it up, and just don't let it get to you. My manager tells me that too. He's like, just don't let it get to you, Sketch. He's been here for like almost 40 years in radio. And he's like a Jedi master now. He does nothing. Nothing phases him. And he could be in the face of a nuclear commercial explosion, of a production meltdown, and he's fucking calm. Yeah. He doesn't raise up or anything. And I'm like, ah! You know what I mean?
Oh, me too. Yeah. I need to learn how to master my emotions.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard.
Have you heard of Jay Shetty? He's one of my favorites.
Enlighten me.
I really he has a very good podcast. He was a former monk, and he has a podcast where he teaches you how to master your emotions. So YouTube it.
Yeah, get right on that mic.
But back to, it can be way worse.
Yeah.
On a separate conversation or topic, I should say, recently, things didn't work out and a specific relationship in my life.
Right.
And Baby Sunnies is the product of that, because I think most people stay stuck in life when they don't know how to navigate growth safely, right? That's fear. Right. That's why so many people stay stuck. It's like saying, hey, Bree, drive to Arizona, but I've never been there. I don't have GPS. I don't have a map. So why would I go to Arizona? Right. I wouldn't. I'm going to stay in the car and not go anywhere at all. Yeah. So with this relationship, it was very heartbreaking for me. And I told myself, am I going to cry myself to sleep every single night? Am I going to have a bottle of wine every single day? Or am I going to use this creativity outlet for me to just make me happier, to get back on my feet? I love working. So for me, even if it's selling a pair of sunglasses for $7, $10.
Custom made sunglasses, by the way.
Handmade.
like a friendship bracelet.
Yes.
Yeah, with love.
Lots of love. Each piece is made with love.
It keeps you going.
Yes.
It's like therapy to you.
It's me time. It's regaining my independence. Yes, I love being a mom, but I need my sanity, and working gives me that.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is to me. Podcasting, and you're doing this as a business, as a new venture business that you created, and it takes time for it to grow. It's not easy. It's baby steps, all pun intended. But like, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Every 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. I know that's a cliche statement to say, but it's absolutely 1,000,000,000% accurate. It's like, you got to start somewhere. This podcast, I started this podcast and it's become like this kind of therapeutic release, a creative release for me, which is why I do it. I don't make any money off this podcast. I do it for the love of the craft. Just like your love of making these things, but you turned it into you monetize off this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could monetize off my podcast, but I don't really want to, because in a way, it kind of takes away from that creative edge, and you're doing it for free. You're doing it for the love to share my skill, my gift of production and podcasting with the world. And that's good enough for me. I feel like the universe rewards me in other ways. Like it pays you. Yeah. I pay it forward to certain things, and then it pays me back. But again, I'm not perfect. I'm trying to get the hang of being an adult. I'm trying to get the hang of being a man, of being responsible. So when I see young parents like yourself, I commend you. Because I know.
Adulting is fucking hard.
But being a mom it's the most undervalued job in the world. Forget about teachers and cops being moms. Single moms, raising men. My mom raised me. She was my mom and my dad when my dad left when I was 16, and they got divorced when I was like 12. But my dad was hardly in the picture. He was around a little bit, but not enough. My mom had to do both roles, and she raised 2 daughters. On her, so 3 kids on her own during the 80s.
So did she work?
Yeah, she worked. She worked for her father, my grandfather. He owned a paving company. And she was like, she would do the office work and go on estimates and stuff like that. But, she had a rough relationship with her dad, too. Yeah. And she eventually quit. And she was a singer in Mexico City. She could have pursued. She was like the shit in Mexico City in the 70s. Wow. Like, my mom was like the bomb, right? She was famous. She could have stuck with that, but she wanted to have her family. So she sacrificed her fame for a family. Wow. And I feel like she wasn't ever really thanked for that, And I feel in your line, you sacrificed a lot to be where you're at now. Can you talk a little bit about some of those sacrifices that you made to get to where you're at with this little company you started?
Where do I start?
At the beginning.
Start in the beginning, like Natalia Perez.
At the beginning.
Bro.
And then she goes, yeah!
Yeah.
This is why you're single.
You're entitled self.
Well, some of the small sacrifices that I make every single day, let's say, is, sleep is definitely one of them. My daughter is at an age where she's so attached to me, wants me to play with her. And I know she wakes up at 7 a.m. So if I want to make every single pair unique and special and perfect, I have to wake up at 4:30, sometimes 5.
Whoa.
And even though, being a mom, you don't clock in, clock out.
Right.
Starting your own small business, you don't clock in, clock out.
Right.
So my time starts when I open my eyes, because I know I have 2 hours for me time to do this before she wakes up.
Right.
Because I probably won't have another 2 hours to myself until her first nap, which is at 2:30, 3 p.m. So that's just a small sacrifice. Obviously, I still have friends, my age from high school.
Anymore.
I don't,
Barely.
and I don't want to. I honestly just want to spend every single minute with her, because they only stay this small forever.
Let me ask you, do you feel at all sometimes that FOMO, because you are 28 and, this is kind of the prime partying years, your 20s, even into your 30s. I partied all the way until I was 40. And I feel like I've traveled, I've been to many different clubs, I've DJ'd many different events, I've met so many different people, I've blacked out in so many different places. Yeah. Do you ever sometimes miss that single life?
Absolutely not.
No,
not for 1 second.
Not for Ava.
No, I'm so happy. I met her dad. I'm so happy we had her. I'm so happy my 20s turned out the way they are. And I still have another 2 years before I turn 30.
Wild.
But now I just bring the party to my house. Now it's
really?
Just
so that's the after party?
That's the after party.
After the pod party?
After the party, yes.
Bring the party favors.
No, I know. I mean, the party is, going to a nice restaurant. If I want to have a margarita, I will. But my daughter's next to me. I don't do the bars anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't do are there even clubs in LA?
There is, but I don't really go to any of them.
I don't know one club in LA right now.
I used to frequent all of them. Every one of them.
You look like it. You look like a club.
I look like a club. I look like a club.
You look like a club.
The sketch club.
Yes.
Yeah. It's real sketchy in there.
Yes.
Not sure if you're going to come out or not.
Yeah.
I remember Playhouse. Did you ever go to Playhouse?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Playhouse was the bomb. That was like my main spot. That and Dre's on top of the W Hotel. Remember Dre's?
Yeah. So I think that's why I don't have FOMO, because I've always hung out with older people.
Right.
I mean, my two closest friends right now at this time are over 10 years older than me.
Right.
And their moms.
I'm like your senior citizen friend over here.
No.
But you do seem to have an older type of personality. Like, even when I met you, you were very mature. Even in your inebriated state, and this is the other thing that I liked about you right off the top. You were helping pick up the bottles and cans, which I thought was so sweet.
Well, I don't think I brought a gift, so my gift was to help clean up.
And I was like, oh my heart's exploding.
She's so cute.
Yeah. So
wait, so being a mom, I need to mention this because I just noticed this. Mm-hmm. This is so embarrassing. Yesterday, when my daughter went down for a nap, I painted one hand and I forgot about the other hand.
Oh, so we're looking at two different.
There's two. Yeah. One hand is painted.
You just saw this.
I just remembered. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot.
But your feet are the same color. Your toes are all across the board.
I do not do these. I go and get them done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you let someone else touch your feet.
All the time when I get a pedicure.
Are you ticklish?
Yes, very.
Does it tickle when you're getting your
they get so upset. They slap my legs. They're like, relax. I'm like, I can't. Just don't do it.
The little ladies?
Yes. I grab it myself and I just start scrubbing.
They're all, stop moving.
Yeah, yes, literally. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
When they're in there and how they talk really low, right? And yet the other work can hear them.
7 girls down?
Yeah.
They're responding.
And they're talking, I don't know typically what language it is.
Wait,
and this
how
isn't
would you
racist.
know?
This isn't racist because I used to go take my girlfriend to get her mani-pedi. And I would sit there and I'd hear the ladies working on her and I was about to say her name, but she's like, talking to me and then I hear the lady working and just maybe they're talking Vietnamese or Korean, I'm not sure.
We don't know, yeah.
But they're talking really low. And then the lady 14 rows down is all, and I'm like, what? How are they are they telepathic? How are they doing this? It's like a magic trick. I swear.
Can you do that volume again?
And then the other lady, way down here. And then everybody agrees. And all the rest of the customers who don't speak the language are like, what the fuck is happening here? How is this possible?
That is so
It's like
true.
sign language with whispering. It's bizarre. But you know what? More power to you. That's probably why they're so incognito and so low key. They could talk like stealthy.
They can talk shit
underneath
their breath.
It's kind of like when Mexican or, people, Latino folks talk in Spanish in front of people who don't speak Spanish. It's kind of like, but they talk normally loud and you could almost make out just by the tone of their voice that they're being condescending in their own language.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
People think I'm Armenian all the time and they talk Mexican people.
Really?
Yeah. When I go to Salsa and Beer.
You are I told you have this Kardashian-esque
just because
vibe.
A girl has dark features.
This is Kim Kardashian.
I think that's why they assume like, oh, you're trying to be a Kardashian or you remind me of a Kardashian. I mean, they're my favorite girls.
I know. And
I
like Kim Kardashian.
I love her.
I've met her a couple of times.
Have you?
I met her once for real at Power back in the day when Big Boys Neighborhood was still on Power. And she came up and I took a picture with her and I showed her a couple of I had her do a couple of drops.
Did you look at her butt?
I mean, how can you not? It's hard not to notice.
And I heard she's really small.
She's not as small as you, but she's short.
Yeah.
She's shorter. And, but it's the way she talked. I even have a drop from her.
Really?
Yeah. And it's, I took the drop.
We're going to drop it.
I'm going to play it. Well, it's a drop, meaning it's an ID drop going. It's like, hi, this is Kim Kardashian, and you're listening to DJ Sketch-O-Matic. Right?
Oh, that's so hot.
And I took another drop from her for another DJ who was also in love with her, and I had her go, I love you, and I clipped that part into my drop. So she says, I love you to me, but she didn't really address it to me. But
right.
That's the power of Sketchword Scissorhands, motherfucker.
Hello.
I cut it all together. All right? Yeah. So
that's amazing.
I cut it together. I'm going to play a clip. I'll play it right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This is Kim Kardashian, and you're listening to DJ Sketch-O-Matic. Get him, Sketch. I love you.
You do me a drop right now. Same as Kim. Go, This is Breana Aguilera, and you're listening to the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast. Can you say that?
This is
state your name and say, you're listening to the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast.
This is Breana Aguilera, and you're listening to the Sketch-O-Matic podcast.
Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast.
Okay, let's do that
And then
again.
do it as whatever your version of sexy is, turn it up times 10.
Wait, I need you to, the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast. Okay. This is Breana Aguilera, and you're listening to the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I recorded that. We didn't get cut off by Vox Pro. And I'm recording on a second program too, by the way. Backup.
Perfect.
That's backup
Okay.
right there. Okay, so listen, I know that we're running out of time, Breana Aguilera. God, that sounds like so much like an artist name. Like
I
Christina
wish
Aguilera.
I could sing like
Can you
one.
sing at all?
No. Can I sing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah? Can you carry a tune?
No, not at all. But do I love to sing, especially Selena?
Oh, yeah?
Oh my
You're
God.
a Selena
Give me
fan.
a mic
Really?
and I will.
You have a mic. Go ahead.
No. Behind closed doors. I mean, a fun fact is like family parties. We love doing karaoke. I love doing karaoke. Give me 2 shots of tequila and I will perform as if I'm Selena.
Yeah?
I actually have a video.
Selena Aguilera?
So yeah, Selena Aguilera. So I will sing like her, try to dance like her.
Yeah.
I might even be here for Halloween.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, give me a reason to have bangs.
That's right. She did have bangs.
Yes.
She's the only other one that can rock the bangs.
Yes, a brunette
besides
with
Swift.
yes, with
And probably
Fanta.
one of the few Latinas that can rock
Jennifer
bangs.
Lopez also.
Yeah,
I like
that's
her.
true. Oh, yeah, she
Yeah,
did have
yeah.
bangs for a while. Yeah. They can
There's
get
a
away with
couple,
it.
yeah.
Some can get away with it. But let's be honest, Taylor Swift looks the
She
best with
takes
bangs.
it.
She has that face.
Yeah.
And those piano teeth.
I like Valentine's Day.
Yeah? I thought you were going to say Valentine in the morning. He worked here too. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, the move when she was in that movie Valentine's Day.
Taylor Swift was in the
Yes.
movie Valentine's Day? I never saw it. What?
Yes.
Unbelievable. This
And
is
you would love
unacceptable.
her.
I
No,
do.
you would love her in it.
I
She's so
want her to
funny.
do more acting. I
Yeah,
do.
I think she's hilarious.
And I have this fantasy that one day Taylor Swift's people will contact me and say, "Hi, this is Taylor Swift's agency or whatever, you know. Taylor hears that you make intros and production."
Let me pretend I'm Taylor Swift's manager. We're going to speak it into this.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go.
Hi,
Hello,
is this Christian?
this is Christian.
AKA Sketch-O-Matic?
Yes, same person. Go ahead.
Hi, yes, this is Taylor Swift's manager, Breana Aguilera. How are you today?
Oh my, I can't believe you're calling me. How can I help
Believe
you?
it. Hey, so my team has actually brought your name into the room and into this conversation, and we know that you're a really, really big Taylor Swift fan, and I was wondering if you would like to meet her in person at her concert at Crypto Arena.
Breana Aguilera, Taylor's manager. Have you ever thought of doing voiceover? Because you sound really, really nice on the phone, and I can only imagine you look just as good as you sound. Is this accurate?
Thank you. I'm even better in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you single? And then I'd start hitting on you before I even took the meeting. And then I'd say, okay, yeah, I'll be glad to go down there and meet up with the Swift camp. And I would really like to work with her at some point. Like that's what my fantasy isn't just meeting her. It would be to do production for her in some capacity, meaning like an intro to a show. Or even a podcast. Like let's say Taylor wanted to do a podcast herself, right? And they needed some podcast guy to engineer it.
Right.
I would be that for Taylor. And if I could do that to a capacity of producing.
You can totally do that.
Yeah. I would want to manifest that into existence. But not just meeting her. Yes, I'm a fan. Yes,
But I want to work with her. I want this relationship to be taken to the next level.
And I want to be able to say I'm working for Taylor Swift on some production. Like what?
Yeah.
Could you imagine? That would be.
You know what? There's no one
crazy.
better. You're so talented. I know you can totally do it.
I could totally do it, but I would also be terrified to do it because it's her.
Right.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
Where do you see, and we'll wrap up with this because I know you got to go. Baby Sunnies. Where do you see this going in the next couple of years? Where are you trying to take this company of yours, Baby Sunnies?
I would definitely, I just started my Etsy website, reflecting Baby Sunnies. So you can also shop my Sunnies on Etsy or on my Instagram directly.
And give out your Instagram.
Baby_Sunnies, SUNNIES. And I actually do local drop-offs right now.
In person?
I do.
What?
Yeah. So once when my daughter is with her dad, then that's my time to circle the area and do my drop-off. So I normally do about anywhere from 5 to 8 a day.
And you drive them yourself?
I drive them myself if they're locally, or I have customers come to my house, which really does help when I do have my baby. But honestly, I see myself doing this for as long as I want to.
Right.
But I definitely would want to do maybe baby clothing next. Design baby clothing. Yeah. Ava's obviously the center of my inspiration to start this.
And she doesn't even know it yet.
She is the CEO and she doesn't even know it.
She's the chairman?
Yes. This is all Ava's.
And you know what's wild too about Ava, your daughter? Is it reminds me of The Truman Show. And I know, again, you're probably too young for this.
I don't know that.
The Truman Show was a movie that Jim Carrey was in the 90s. Okay. And it's about him growing up on camera, on TV, and he doesn't even know it. Like, it's a really, really good movie. It's funny, it's powerful, it's kind of sad, but it's one of Jim Carrey's best performances ever.
Wow.
And it all takes place in Burbank. Like, basically, they built the world's biggest studio over Burbank for Truman, and that's his name, Truman, Jim Carrey. So the Truman Show is about him being born like Ava, completely like how you have Ava on social media and Baby Sunnies, and she's not really aware of what social media. She's not aware at all of what social media or Baby Sunnies is at all yet. She's not even. Is she talking yet?
She is talking. She does babbling, say right? 5 words. No, she says. She says mom, she says dad, she says Coco, which is her grandmother's name. She says up, she says down. She's so smart. There's sponges. Damn. You have to be so careful with what you say.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. She has no idea that she doesn't
know what this is yet, right? And that's what the Truman Show kind of centers around, that there's hidden cameras all over this world's biggest studio filming every moment of his life from birth until he becomes like, let's say he's like in his early 30s. Yeah. And everybody in the show around him in this fake city, studio city that he's in, not Studio City, the real city, but the studio fake city that they built for him, are all actors. Wow. And some of them in the movie try to sneak messages to him that he's on TV and to look up or look to the camera. And they even do stupid commercials in the middle of a conversation. They'll be like, Truman, so how are you? Do you want to have some such and such type beer, which is the greatest beer? Like, they're doing a commercial, and then Truman starts to notice. He's like, why are you talking like that?
Why are you acting weird?
Yeah, and he starts to figure out eventually that he's on this television show all about him. And by the way, he can't get off the set. Every time he tries to drive away down a street, something happens. Something like an accident or a fire happens. Or he tries to sail away on a boat. Now there's a storm and he can't sail and he's got a fear of water. So they keep him on the set, and eventually I don't want to give it away. Spoiler alert.
I know. But I'm like, I need to go home right now and watch
It's fucking good. But in a way, it reminds me of Ava.
Well, hopefully it's not sad. Is it why did he say it's sad?
Because it's just sad because there's like this father-son moment.
Okay.
A father-son arc / aspect that's added to it that is kind of touching, and it's kind of sad. But not in a bad way. Like, nobody dies and shit.
Yeah,
it's not like that.
I'm
There's
like,
no animals
I don't want
hurt.
anything sad.
No, it's just the story. It's like, wow. And then you want a part 2 to be set up. You really do. You're like, man, I hope they come back and do it too. But I don't think they will.
But you know what's so funny? For Ava, since she was a baby, like, she will cry. And then I turn the flash on and she's just like, hi. Like, she knows.
She likes the camera.
She loves the camera. She smiles. Did you see that clip the other day where she's pulling off my fake eyelashes? Yeah. And then she looks at the camera and gives a smirk. Yes. She's like, bitch, give me back my lashes. And she looks at the camera and she just smiles, or, you know, she knows what she's doing. But she definitely has taken over my page.
She knows how to get what she wants with the flash of the camera or the light of the camera, the ring light.
Right. Yes.
But the Baby Sunnies thing, I see it kind of going where you create different versions of these glasses, maybe as kids get older, a little older. So they're not toddlers anymore. Now they're like, let's say 2 or 3 years old. And you know how kids outgrow their clothes and everything like, rapidly fast. You know, I know that these are mostly for like girls. Is it? I know you make guys.
I make boy, and they're for baby and toddlers. So I do now. You know, 10-year-old girls aren't really into, like, you know, the little beads or the flowers. So I have to find a way. I don't know how I can adapt to that age group. But I definitely, my next goal is to do like mommy and me pairs. Ooh. So I just made a pair that said MILF mommy.
Do you have them on you?
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
I'm going to send you a photo once I get home. Yeah. And then my daughter has Mama's Mini. So I want to do that because I think they're great for photo shoots, for baby showers. They're fun and it's light. You can't go wrong with it.
Right. And you can't mess up. You said they're only $7 a pair?
They range from $7 to $12.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
And I know we got to wrap up, but I'm still fascinated. How did, not just the inspiration for starting it through Ava and all the other stuff you stated about the relationship and whatnot, but how did you start it? How did you, the thought came into your mind and then you acted. How did you manifest it into existence?
It was a happy accident. I was online shopping for items to put in my daughter's Easter basket and I wasn't paying attention. I ordered way too many pairs of Sunnies. And when I got them, I'm like, I hate returning things and going out of my way to drop them off to return them and, it taking X amount of days to refund the money. So I actually posted on my Instagram just for fun.
Right.
I think I even built like the liquor courage. I had some wine and I'm like, fuck it. Let me just sell it for $5 to my local friends. I mean, I only have a couple hundred followers. So I had 24 orders that day and I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, maybe I'm onto something and I can work from home.
Right.
So I increased the price immediately because it does take
not much. The margins aren't that large. It went from 5 to 7 to 12. I mean, it's under $20.
It is.
And is it free shipping or do they pay for the shipping?
It is. Well, that's why I do local, like pick up and drop offs to bypass.
That's right.
But if you do, I actually pay for the shipping myself.
Well, you're the one shipping it yourself, right? If you have to ship it.
If I do, then I have to go.
But you're driving it yourself locally.
I am, yeah.
Which is a huge perk. Okay, I might just order some of these just on the strength, just so you can deliver them to the house,
right?
To the apartment.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to make some for you. So that's what really, and then once I started getting more orders after those Sunnies ran out, I just ordered more and I ordered more items and I ordered more charms and then I ordered more glue and I ordered, all the items that I needed.
And you have little hands too. So, cause I know it takes precision to get everything lined up and you're using little like utensil tools, like type tweezer type things to get them all lined up
so thin. I have pearls that are literally so tiny, like an ant that I have to get on there precisely and make it look clean. So
do you want to hire employees at some point?
No.
No, you want to completely
that's what makes
solo.
It special. Yeah.
Look at you. Maybe by the time Ava gets a little older, she'll start doing it too.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Put her to work.
Yes. Work for what you own.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is part of your company too, little lady.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. And then what about on the business aspect? I see you got a logo made.
I made that logo.
How did you do that?
I used an app, Canva app.
Get out of here.
I use everything. Yeah.
Everything's been done by you, just like I do this podcast from top to bottom.
And
myself.
I literally I sent it to my friends and I had I made a couple. I said, which one do you guys like? But I knew in my head which one I was going to go with. I made a couple. They voted on the same one I knew was going to work. So that was just confirmation that, okay, I can do this shit myself. I don't need to hire someone to do this for me. Business cards or little note cards, everything I designed. And then I just have them printed.
I'll tell you, Breana, is that when you post up the videos of you with those gloves that you wear, what are those kind of gloves?
Because I don't want glue to like mess up my hands.
Do you wear latex gloves?
Latex gloves, yes.
Like the other gloves they were like satiny looking. The ones that you wear like to like an evening ball or something. They were long, that go to your elbow. They look very like those are latex?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They look all fancy. You know what I'm talking about? When you wear a gown and those fancy gloves.
I wear like mesh.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, there's Instagram for you. I don't know what the hell, but when I saw them all, look at her. She's wearing some fancy. That's like gown gloves.
No, that's latex.
But I like that you do that because that video of you, and then you speed it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Elapsed time. Yeah. But you show your hands making the Sunnies. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good advertisement and you should continue to do it with you on there. Not just the glasses, because when you see you, it gives way more incentive to want to buy it and to want to watch it all the way through.
Yeah. And I want to know I want people to know who they're buying from. And, I want to introduce myself over and over again because you're trusting me to place an order, no matter if it's $1, $5 or $500. It's still... You're trusting me to make some for your kid, for your kid's friends, whatever. So I want to make it as special and unique and a memorable experience every single purchase.
And what was like your biggest purchase so far?
For Easter, I had 10 10 names that I had to do on Sunnies, and it was $70.
That's not bad.
No, it was really good.
I mean, that's good.
That's
beginner
money, honey.
Yeah. And you're just doing it with something that it's like arts and
that
crafts.
makes me happy. Yeah.
And it's therapeutic.
It
You
is.
find solace in your work, they say. Find solace in your work. When I'm editing shit, I'm like floating in my own chair at home. When I'm editing this podcast and I'm in a zone, when you get into that zone, it's like a runner's high. You're just like, you're editing. And it's like, you're not even thinking about it. Like second nature driving.
That's how I feel when I edit my reels for this. I'm like, and I see the final, but the editing process is so fun to me. When I speed it up, when I do voiceovers, when, that's fun.
Yeah. And the voiceover thing, you should probably get into that. I feel like I'm definitely going to use you for some more voiceover stuff. And as soon as we're done recording this pod, I'll have you do some listener audio.
Yeah, let's do it.
Aside from the OnlyFans things, I mean, I was also thinking of this. Oh, I'm glad I brought this up. Thanks, Sketch. You're welcome. The OnlyFans feet thing is one idea. The other idea is OnlyFans like ASMR tying into Baby Sunnies, right?
So how would that work?
So if you were like putting together...
Oh, with like a low top?
Well, that too.
Oh.
But you don't have to show yourself. That's the thing. It's just your hands with the latex gloves, and you're putting you got your little tools, your utensils, and you're gluing together the little charms and all that. But as you put microphones to that, and you pick up the sound from the building of the Sunnies. And then as you're talking, and we take this charm and we put it here, but you're like, whispering.
Yeah, and you get the flower charm and you put it right here and get the pearls.
Yeah, keep going.
Once you get the pearls, I'll go ahead and put Breana on the name as a name.
Or your name.
Do you want your name? Maybe we can call it Sugar Daddy.
Yes. Now that is called ASMR. Right?
So I went on TikTok and this girl makes money, goes on live, makes money. She has these really long nails and just goes like this.
Yeah.
And they start donating. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you make money off of this?
Because people have those weird kinks. There's niches for that type of stuff. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just kind of, it's almost kind of like when podcasting started, people were like, what's that about? Oh, it's just a conversation. Why do I want to listen to a conversation?
Right.
Well, now I can't stop listening to podcasts. I used to think podcasts was people trying to be like broadcasters. Podcasters were trying to be like broadcasters.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until years later that I was like, a friend of mine from high school, who I still keep in contact with on Xbox, he's like, Sketch, you should listen to Joe Rogan Experience. And I'm like, yeah, that's a podcast though. I was like, what's it about? I was like, I don't know, man. And he was like, dude, it's not like Stern. Stern is satire. Stern is entertainment. Joe Rogan's podcast is just a hang.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And I realized, just like you did, happy accident. I was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. I know how to fucking talk. I have all the equipment. I can produce the shit myself.
Your voice is totally radio voice. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I always feel whenever I call you or you call me, I'm like, what the heck? Like, is this an interview?
Right.
Like, it's just so strong and demanding.
I have the voice for television and the face for podcasting. In other words, ugly.
No, you're not ugly.
No?
No.
Are you acting?
No, I don't even know how to act.
I don't know. I can't tell if you're being real.
I'm being so real.
I'm real. I'm like real 92.3 up in this.
Oh.
Breana Aguilera, we got to wrap this up. You got to get back to your daughter, and you got to do all kinds. You got to go make some more Baby Sunnies. But I'd like to invite you back.
Or babies.
Oh, well,
hello.
Keep me in mind. I'm willing and able.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Sketch. I really appreciate it. And I hope we do part 2 someday.
Yeah, I want to invite you back on the podcast at some point.
Let's do it.
Let them get your social media. We got the Baby Sunnies out there. Can we give out your social?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Instagram, Breana. That's Breana_Aguilera. Like Christina Aguilera.
Spelled the same way, right?
Aguilera.
And Baby Sunnies at Baby_Sunnies Sunnies.
Yeah.
Support Breana. Even if you don't have kids, you know somebody who has kids.
Yes.
Get them a pair of some Baby Sunnies.
Make them happy.
Make them happy. They're inexpensive. They're fun. They look really cute.
And I'll deliver them to you.
You should make some for pets. Doggy Sunnies.
Yeah.
Are you a dog or cat person?
I'm honestly
neither.
Yeah.
I knew it. Well, if you had to go with one.
I do. My former partner and I got a dog and he kept it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
What kind of dog? Golden?
Golden.
Really?
Doodle, yes.
Well, a girl,
so
boy?
cute. Boy.
What was his name?
Teddy.
Teddy. I love golden
Teddy.
retrievers.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
They're like little angels.
Yeah, but I know this is sad, but
you're not a pet person.
Well, when you have a newborn, I got the puppy the same time I had Ava. So
but you don't hate dogs.
No, my mom has dogs. Yeah, Ava loves dogs.
Yeah, it trips me out when some people are like, I don't like dogs.
I know, like, what did they do to you?
Yeah, come on. They don't even know that you don't like them. I mean, I'm sure they do if you tell them. But, it's like, I just don't like, what did the dog do? The dog's just being a dog.
Wait, can you tell people what you did about the Yellowstone bear?
Oh my God, yeah. I said, okay,
really fast?
So let's just reiterate this Yellowstone conversation we had. And I had this conversation with Kristen Lamone from Alt 98.7 when she came on the pod early on. And I had just finished watching that episode where Rip Wheeler, again, spoiler alert, but there's a scene, and this is all happening at once, and I'm right about to come to do this podcast with Kristen Lamone, right? At least a year ago, maybe even longer. And I just started getting into Yellowstone, and I'm watching this episode, and Rip fucking gets cornered. Not cornered, he's trying to help this couple who's hanging off the edge of a fucking cliff, right? They're tourists. They got too far, probably trying to take a selfie, and one of them slips, and the other one slips, and he's trying to help him, and he's hanging over the edge. Rip's trying to pull him up, and then a bear fucking comes up behind him, because this is all in Montana, where bears are at, and Rip has to fucking make a choice of whether let the fucking people drop or shoot the bear. So he lets the person drop, one of them drop.
I think it was the wife, right?
He let the wife, but then the wife, I think, grabbed onto the husband, right? So she's still hanging on, but he has to shoot the bear in the face. Right? And when they showed that, I got upset. I was like, holy shit, that looked real as holy fuck. I was like, dude, and it gave me like high blood pressure. I immediately went on Google and I'm all, were any bears hurt in the making? And the first answer in Google that popped up, it said, fuck no. In capital letters.
I love that you Googled that.
I Googled it, and then they went into how they made it, and it was pretty much CG. Yeah, they had like a dummy bear out there, but I wanted
everyone to know how caring you are.
I love animals, and I think my ex-girlfriend made me a more of an animal lover, not just for dogs or cats. I wasn't really a cat person, but I grew to have more love for cats because she was a cat person, like Taylor. And, and Howard Stern's a cat person. I'm not really a cat person, but I like cats. But I'm more of a dog person. But now I've grown into love all animals, because all animals, in a way, not in a way, it's true. They all have their own personalities and their own thoughts. And even though they can't communicate them to us, I feel like they have feelings, and they interpret certain things. And horses make me cry. Okay. Like if I go up to a horse in real life, I'll start crying.
Why?
Because they're so beautiful and so majestic. And I found out that what is the main thing that horses think about? Because I thought of this question when I was watching Yellowstone. I said, what do horses mainly think about? I asked Google. I consulted the Google, and Google gave me an answer, and it said safety. Aww. That's all their main concern is. And if your horse feels safe with you, your horse will do shit that it probably wouldn't normally do. That's why in the Old West, a lot of those gunfights on horseback with Native Americans and the arrows, like the horses are just going into fucking war because their rider, their person, it's an extension of them. Yeah. And that's why I always wonder, I'm like, man, aren't horses afraid when they hear those gunshots and they just buck out the other way?
Yeah.
But they stay in it because they trust their rider.
So see, that's like women. Once we trust and we feel protected.
Yeah, but you're far from horses, okay? I may want to ride you, but I also want to marry you too. I don't want to marry my horse.
Or a whore.
Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Breana Aguilera.
Thank you, Sketch.
All right, Breana. Much love to you. I really appreciate you doing this and coming all the way over here to the radio station to hang out with me and have this conversation, this podcast, and for being such a beautiful, kind soul. And I know I don't know you that well, but the parts I've gotten to know, I really enjoy talking to you, and I don't really get to talk to you as much as I'd like to, and vice versa. Yeah. But that's why I wanted to have you on this podcast, so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. It doesn't have to be like a date. It's a pod date, and it's a pod conversation. We're getting to know each other, and that's what it's about. And hopefully you feel more comfortable coming up here and being on the mic because I know you were a little nervous and stuff. But here you are. We did it, and we had a good time. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. Thank you for taking me out of my element. I really appreciate your time and you inviting me. So I honestly can't wait to do this again if you want to have me.
All right. Breana Aguilera, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
The Sketch-O-Matic Show.
Hey, too much information and shit, man.
Shut your mouth, essay.
Okay, bye.
And then as you're talking, and we take this charm and we put it here, but you're like, whispering.
Yeah, and you get the flower charm and you put it right here and get the pearls.
Yeah, keep going.
Once you get the pearls, I'll go ahead and put Breana on the name as a name.
Or your name.
Do you want your name? Maybe we can call it Sugar Daddy.
Yes.
This is Breana Aguilera, and you're listening to the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast.